Enjoy the holiday season with the Ultra Alolan Festivities design. Available on hoodies, notebooks, mugs even. Get one for yourself to wrap up nice and warm, or one for a friend, and links to where you can get your own are in the description below. Hey Pokemon Masters, Birdkeeper Toby here, and welcome back to week 2 of Alola Week. Because I just played Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I finished the game now, and wow, it is good, and there is just so much to talk about that I wanted to extend it to 2 weeks long, and a second week of your chance to win the Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon giveaway I've got going on. And at the end of the week, I'm going to choose 2 of you. One of you is going to win Ultra Sun, one of you is going to win Ultra Moon. It could be you. And that is a worldwide giveaway, so leave some likes, leave some comments, and yeah, like I say, I finished the game now, and spoiler warning, this is like the smallest spoiler for the post-game. I actually think it may have been revealed in the trailer. It's to do with a pokeball that someone uses. So yeah, between the thumbnail and that, you haven't guessed what the spoiler is. That's as spoiler heavy as this goes. Everything else in this video was revealed in the trailers, so please don't worry about spoiler warnings. And it's kind of a little Pokemon theory slash rework on an older theory that now makes a lot more sense. Or rather, just adds more credibility to the topic and discussion that I hope to continue with you in the comment section. Also, before I get into it, don't forget that my Alolan Festivities design is now out. This is the old one from last year. However, the new Ultra Alolan Festivities is also on sale at TeePublic. Link at the top of the description. All sales help out the channel and allow me to do things like, you know, Alolan Week twice in a row. That's because of the support of merchandise and Patreons and all that kind of jazz. So thank you so much. Link to all of that stuff in the description. So yes, a Pokeball that someone uses. And if you've guessed by the thumbnail, that's Giovanni using the Master Ball. But not just Giovanni, all of the Evil Team leaders, all of their Pokemon are in Master Balls. How does that make sense? How does that work? How have they all got hold of what is essentially the rarest item in the games? Well, I want to backtrack a teeny tiny bit and talk about the Master Ball. People often, the first thing that they throw at me when they talk about Pokemon, and they go, oh yeah, but it's kind of immoral to, you know, catch Pokemon in Pokeballs, to keep them caught up in these tiny little balls and then they suffocate and then they only bring them out to battle. It doesn't really encourage friendship. And I, as someone who has spent a reasonable amount of time, you know, maybe a few years, looking at the lore of the Pokemon, disagree. There is a symbiotic relationship between Pokemon and people. In the Pokemon world, people need Pokemon to bring out the best in them, and Pokemon need people to do the same. Let's just take Mega Evolution, for example. Mega Evolution only happens when the bond is strong between a trainer and its Pokemon. And you look at stuff like Ash Greninja, which is an anomaly when you have a absolutely caring and loving trainer having that bond with its Pokemon. That brings Greninja to its fullest potential. You also see this in Ash's Infernape. And in fact, the reason that you don't find many fully evolved Pokemon in the wild, and usually you only find the lower stages and they need to be evolved by trainers, is because they just don't get the experience they need to become their strongest and fullest and most mature forms in the wild. People need Pokemon and Pokemon need people. Yeah, but Toby, why have you got to feint the Pokemon before when you battle them? That you've got to knock them out to catch them. Okay, first of all, you feint them, you don't kill them. And as we've seen a number of times in the show, Pokemon want to be raised by a strong trainer. For example, in the Hoenn region, Trico becomes friends with Ash, but doesn't just let Ash catch it. Because Trico, unlike some of Ash's other Pokemon, actually wants to evolve and become a Sceptile. So Trico challenges Ash to a battle. He wants Ash to be able to beat him, because Trico wants to be caught by a worthy trainer, someone who's going to be able to look after it and make it grow stronger so that it'll evolve in a way that it won't do living in its colony as it has it. For example, in Trico's little group, there is an older Trico. It's reached the end of its lifespan and it's still a Trico. That's not what Ash's Trico wants, and that's not what a lot of wild Pokemon want. In fact, in the first episode, it talks about how wild Pokemon, including Spearow, are usually jealous of human-trained Pokemon, and that's why the Spearow attacked Pikachu, even though Pikachu isn't too hot on joining Ash. Anyway, I digress. Pokemon want to be caught by people. They want to be trained by worthy trainers so that they can become the strongest they can. And that is why they also have the option to break out of Pokeballs. Now, as technology has developed, different Pokeballs have been made, some with higher catch rates, and maybe that's a little bit unfair against wild Pokemon, but it still gives wild Pokemon that option, that chance of escaping. The Master Ball, however, does not, and I have always questioned the Master Ball. Is it a morally good thing to have on the market? Although for that matter, it's not on the market, it's not for sale. It's actually only recently been developed over the last 10 years of the Pokemon lore. Developed by Selfie, developed in Pokemon Labs, and the only people that you ever get the Master Ball off of are either Pokemon professors in the form of Professor Elm, or one of the professors in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, or Evil Team leaders in Evil Team bases. In Ruby and Sapphire, it's surrounded by Electrode. They don't want you going near it. In Sinnoh, Cyrus just gives you one because he's like, okay, this item does catch a legendary Pokemon, but I don't need it, I'm going to use this other thing. Because, as he says, there is a slight downside to the Master Ball, which is it makes the Pokemon a little bit weaker, which I don't really understand or what part of all that comes from. Either way, it's a common item of possession for evil teams. And it was the coveted item of Giovanni in the first Pokemon games. However, Giovanni didn't get it. You stopped him. At least you did when you played Red, Blue, and Yellow. But the Giovanni of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon actually comes from a universe where he succeeded in his plans. He got the Master Ball and the schematics for the Master Ball. Chances are, with those blueprints, he could create more and rule the Pokemon world by distributing that information to the other evil team leaders. And when he's bringing them together with his Evil Avengers initiative, he's going to be like, by the way, those legendary Pokemon that you're trying to catch, don't worry about the methods you've got. Look, I got this Master Ball, it's absolutely flawless. It is kind of a morally corrupt item, which is why I suspect it's not on the Pokemon market where you can't buy one. They have been created as a power for the sake of emergencies in case a Pokemon went absolutely rampant and wild. A powerful Pokemon trainer deserving of one, awarded one by a Pokemon professor, might be able to stop that rampaging Pokemon. They are there in case of emergencies, but instead they are being abused by evil team leaders, by Giovanni. And it would seem to be the case that the reason that all of these different evil team leaders have all of their Pokemon caught in Master Balls is because Giovanni succeeded in his plan. He stole the schematics for the Master Ball, he stole the prototype, the first one. He used that to capture whichever Pokemon he wanted to catch, but also to bring those evil team leaders, the other Rainbow Rocket members, up to the same level as his, he also gave them Master Balls. I don't know, you're gonna have to let me know what you think about this. What do you think about the topic of Pokemon wanting to be caught anyway? You're gonna have to let me know in the comments, and of course, you leave a comment, you leave a like, you have a chance of winning a Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I'll see you tomorrow with more Alola Week. So hi, Pokemon Masters. A special thank you to my patrons of the month who allow me to make videos like this one. A special shout out to the big patrons of the month, Braylinn and Andros Lee, as well as the Poke Myth, Dominik Weidner. Thank you.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeeper Toby. That makes you a Pokemon